हेलो
हेलो हेलो
टेस्ट
मेरी अम्मा के ऑफिस में जब वो काम करती थी दफ्तर में उनका बॉय जो था वो बस ये फोन कर देते hello
I don't know why people have such a weird intro hellos. I've noticed this on a number of people.
Boy क्या होता है
I've heard hello.
Alio
Alio.
हाँ like उसकी भी मैंने कुछ वेरिएशन सुनी
Hello.
हेलो
Hello.
फ्रेंच हो जाते हैं boys
Microphones, boys.
yeah hello
हेलो testing
All right.
just
How are you guys?
I'm good
I am also good
Zain Peerzada from Takatak. Ali Suhail also from Takatak, but also a lot of his own solo work.
yes
yes
It's great to have two big musicians on the Lahore scene on the podcast at the same time.
Oh.
Nahin?
हंसते हुए भी इसको मैं पॉइंट करूँ
How you boys doing?
good
Yeah?
yeah
How's COVID period?
it's pretty nice actually
So the first thing that's a good way to start because you guys have been doing, Takatak has been doing a lot of online shows, and the thing you sent to me recently was a lockdown, like not a lockdown, but I guess a completely online live show.
yeah
That seemed crazy ambitious. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, so there's these two companies in India. One is called Skillbox and one is called Bohemian Live, and they're both like sort of run by some of the same people. And they are responsible for bringing lots of cool bands to India, like Tesseract and Bellini and David Maxim. A lot of like these new progressive metal bands. And it's pretty cool. So I had been following those guys, and I sort of followed the people who ran those companies, and sort of got talking to them, and they sort of approached us to do this, and we were super stoked to work with companies of their caliber. So it was a bit ambitious, but we sort of managed it somehow. It was a 45-minute long concert. 44. Yeah.
How was it recorded?
So we, the sort of music that we do, we play to like clicks and backing tracks because everything is like super, what would you like, just super calculated and
and just super like on the grid. Like everything's supposed to be very
right. Like it's
stacked together, and like if anything's even slightly crooked, then it
because we have a lot of like orchestration on the record and lot of like parts that we can't play live because we don't have enough members. So every member played alone while they were being shot and like audio was being recorded to the project files, and then we sort of put that all together. That's how we did it. Yeah.
Nice. So like disclaimer, I'm not a fan of metal music at all.
I know.
Not that I'm not a fan of it, but I just don't like it's I haven't really heard much of it, to be honest. I just don't listen to it as part of my daily thing. So when you guys say like it's very on the beat, on like it's to the click, I'm just kind of like, my impression of metal music is it's like sort of like messy, and you kind of distorted grungy, and you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But
Some of it is
like this specific subgenre of metal is very like
gent.
genty. Yeah, like super tight, super like technical, and there's like little to no room for any sort of I'm feeling
there's no, it's
like
not a
this
very improv friendly like genre, huh?
What drew you guys to gent? Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
I mean
to gent?
we just call it
Gent.
prog metal.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean
It feels cooler if I say it.
gent, right? It's the term gent is like frowned upon.
Oh really?
In
like
the
in
metal-
the metal scene
Cute.
because like I don't know like
because it's too
Wannabe?
memey.
Achha.
it's shit posty by it just is.
Yeah, you
Matt?
don't you want to be gent, but you don't want to be gent.
Gent. Yeah.
Okay.
But you still want to be you want to be genty, but you don't want to be gent. And I don't think we're like super genty. We're like somewhere in the middle of being just a metal band and kind of genty.
We just like that sort of just tight aesthetic.
It's almost like pop music, right? Like,
almost basically.
What?
Yeah, it is. It's sort of just come full circle like that.
Right.
Because the
Like on the other
aesthetic is
side.
very similar.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, okay,
Bro,
you're the producer,
like-
here, bro.
like pop is also very, very to the grid
Yeah.
and very quantized these days, and that's sort of the
Like super perfect.
aesthetic it draws from. Like, just listen to Catch Fire by Periphery, dude.
Yeah, that's
you'll
like the
know what it means.
Gentiest pop song ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like the hooks, like a lot of the vocal lines that Ali sort of sings over the songs are pretty poppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the general sort of intention behind it, because it's
Yeah. I mean, What was the question again?
The question was why are you
Gent?
attracted to?
I mean, I don't know. I can't, like, Ali can speak for himself, but like we've been a metal band for 10 years, and like me and the Taka boys have always been in like metal dudes or whatever. Oh, we've always been like metal dudes or whatever, and we just sort of like kidnapped this guy and we're like, अब तू भी कर, ये मार.
हाँ, इसने बस मुझे सुना दिया था एक दिन बहुत सारा metal.
But like,
And-
yeah, I mean, we started playing sessions together.
Yeah.
And because of that, we were traveling a lot together and spending a lot of time together. And me and like Yusuf was also in that scenario, and Isa was also in that scenario. And we just would, we were the majority, so we would be listening to metal all the time. And I think just by proxy, yeah, Stockholm syndrome type scene है वैसे, bro. I think he's just gonna run away one day. At least
एक
today.
दिन
He's
बस
gonna
just-
run away.
So you guys have been playing for 10 years.
Yeah.
That's a crazy amount.
This is the 10th year.
This is the
Yeah.
10th year.
Yeah.
What's that been like? Being a band for 10 years, playing metal in Pakistan for 10 years.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty, honestly. In recent years, some really cool things have happened. Like when we got to, before Ali and Altamas joined, right before we started writing this record, Acrophase, that we just like sort of are finishing putting out, we got to headline LMM, right? And that was like, whoa, are you, like, Zara called me and I was like, dude, are you sure you want us to, like, that's my reaction to anything cool that happens to us. I'm just
You
like,
sure?
You sure you want to do this, bro? Like, I really like your
Heard
festival.
us?
I don't want it to tank, you know? So, I mean, that happened.
But I was there when you headlined. That was crazy. That was
That
awesome.
was super cool, man. Like, there was a packed hall and it was a great...
I have to
like-
admit that when I heard that you guys were headlining, I was also a bit like, really? Like,
Yeah, like,
metal
why?
at the...
Right.
And you were after a Quali...
We were right before that.
right before the Quali.
Yes.
It worked amazingly, though.
Awesome.
It was one of those things where you're like, oh, yeah, of course, actually. Okay,
Damn.
you know, like, it's one of those, like... Very,
I don't know. But, like, yeah.
it sounds cliche, okay, metal and Quali
But
is the same. But
I guess थोड़ी है उनकी, like, just on a very primal level with
Yeah.
the energy of it.
I guess,
in some way. Like some Qawwali
Like
dudes go hard.
I've heard it a bunch, but like I personally don't see it.
It's
But-
not like an apparent thing. But like, I don't know.
I don't
Like
know.
some Qawwali dudes go hard. Right?
Yeah,
like, they go
some-
wild.
yeah.
I think that's the comparison.
हाँ,
Like,
हो
that's where the
सकता है कि हाँ वो
comparison-
बस boys
Yeah,
बस
like,
like
वो बस psycho
हाल
about
में आ
that.
जाते
Yeah.
is
but-
the mathy, like the, whatever you guys call it, the onto the grid
right.
Yeah.
aspect, is that similar in the sense that it's like Qawwali time signatures are really weird, no?
They
I have no idea.
are weird.
I guess, but
But
they're not
not-
very married to the grid though.
They're like
That's kind of like वो काफी loose and what you're feeling kind of vibes.
Right,
That's
right. Yeah.
more
So then, like headlining LMM,
Mm-hmm.
was that is that like
That was the coolest thing that we had ever done at that point, and that was like sort of like that's what pushed us to start writing this record. You know, like we headlined like the coolest festival in the country. Now we better get to, you know, writing songs. And also Zara, like we had already played Lahore Music Meet, but like the outdoor stage, and we didn't have a lot of material at the time, and Zara was like, just please have new songs so you have like a longer set because you're headlining. And she asked me, do you have new songs? And we hadn't written anything in like 3 years, and I was like, dude, for sure, man, we have tons of new shit. And like we spent like 2 weeks writing a couple of songs for that those were the first two songs, Phantom and Voyager, came from the LMM sessions. And it's just been this sort of cool uphill trajectory, sort of, like,
Yeah.
compared to our past, you know, like, just, yeah, getting to record at Alif for 14 days, spend time in a really cool studio. There are some cool things that are happening that we can't really talk
Yeah.
about,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, like,
Good shit has been and is still happening.
In summary.
In summary,
In
yeah.
summary.
So it's pretty cool. Like, being a metal band in Pakistan, the stuff
So
that's...
we started this with it's pretty shitty, and now it's actually pretty good.
Recently,
Yeah.
it's been pretty nice.
Yeah.
And whether that's just being a metal band in Pakistan, or whether that's these guys having been doing this for the past 10 years, or whether that's whatever, but like recently it's a good thing.
Do you think that's
Recently it is
because
good.
recently I've been noticing that Takatak is now just like going heavy? Like, you guys are releasing songs regularly. There's
Right.
content coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're kind of just being like, it's good because
Yeah.
you're putting in the work and it's
Yeah.
getting
Right.
results.
Maybe in the past, like, I think like, we didn't really put out proper music videos, and we took like a long time to put out songs and whatnot. So I think consistency is where we sort of that sort of changed things, because we're always putting out music and all this other content. We have a Patreon page that we constantly feeding, and it's been awesome in that way. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Has that been a challenge to approaching music like basically this is now content now?
It is a challenge, because like we have a record of 8 songs, and there's only so many ways you can flip 8 songs in terms of content, right? Like, you can do a music video, then you can do a playthrough, then you can do a lyric video, then you can do, I don't know, are we doing acoustic versions of this of the
Then do
record?
like neo soul covers.
I want pop versions of these songs.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Sugar pop.
Yeah, that would be sick.
That would be amazing, actually.
Yeah, but I like Corona really helped, because from March to Corona did help though,
Corona.
because like we had nothing else to do, and like right at the start we sort of agreed that we wouldn't really go and meet like all sorts of people, and we would sort of keep it tight so all of us can meet safely, because we still had music videos to put out and playthroughs, and we had a Patreon page to run and all of that stuff, so we had to meet for that. And during that time, from March till October, we've written 30 new songs for the next album.
No way.
So we're whittling that down to like the best 15 or whatever, so that like, I mean, we're dropping the last song from Acrophase on the 17th of October, this coming Saturday, and we aim to put out the first single from the next record anywhere between 1 to 3 months after that. So like, no stopping, basically. Yeah, on that Jake Paul and Logan Paul life.
It's every day, bro.
Every day, bro. Yeah. Basically.
What changed though? What resulted in this kind of के यार हमने बस गाने बनाने हैं and album भी बनाने हैं and just like
I mean, dude, LMM was a big thing, because like, being a metal band in Pakistan, you always sort of feel like, you know, nobody really wants to fucking hear you because, you know, you don't get booked for shows, or, you know, when you do get booked for shows, people are standing there with like their fingers in their ears or something or whatever, you know, like
what's the worst experience that you've had?
लोग लुडियाँ डाल रहे थे, like dance कर रहे थे, yeah, like just really stupid shit, like making
sounds
fun
good.
of us basically, yeah, but
But
that
making fun. That's
हाँ, like making fun type, like क्या
No,
हो रहा है?
not actually.
Yeah, what is this BS? But I mean, LMM happened, and around that time we started working with this guy from India, from Delhi, Keshav Dhar, who mixed our record. He played a solo on Fault Lines as well. He's in a band called Sky Harbor. They're like a pretty awesome, pretty well-known progressive metal band, and like, we really looked up to that dude, and just the fact that he wanted to work with us, we were like, holy fuck, you know, this dude is like one of our heroes, and he wants to do some shit with us. So that was just like, dude, we do have something here that we can run with. We just have to sort of, you know, no BS this time, and just work our asses off and get it done. Yeah, so I think Keshav, LMM, Umair Dar, and the whole Alif crew helping us with the record. All these things, all these people sort of coming together to help us realize this record sort of pushed us a lot. There must be something here that we can.
Yeah, these are most of the good things that were happening that we mentioned before.
Yeah.
And what are the bad things?
I mean, lineup changes, right? Like LMM, Gentle Robot, Ibzy, played his last show with the band. He'd already left by then. It had been a year that he had left, but he was just sort of helping us out, do one-off shows or whatever. But we hadn't been writing for a while. I write better when I have a guitar partner, and I found that in Luke. He joined. We sort of poached half of Kide Makode, and just made a super group, and now it works. Yeah.
Half of the Lahore scene is very all the same musicians.
Yeah. अब क्या कर सकते? Drummers 2 हैं. Bass को 3 लोग जाते हैं. But that's about it. Yeah.
And Takataks is like a super group of all those.
Yeah, we're like the
Avengers,
labor force of the music industry of Lahore. I was the running joke is that if around LMM, if Yusuf and Daud decide to take a vacation or something, the festival isn't going to happen.
Yeah,
right.
It's not happening. Cancel karna padega.
It's going to be an unplugged event.
Yeah.
So what's in the future then for Takatak? I mean, apart from all this content that you're plugging out in the album.
We want to tour, so we're just touring right now is totally not a possibility, but other than the corona aspect, this is the closest we've ever been to to be able to tour and to be able to have those conversations with those people. So it's an exciting time to see what 2021 is going to look like, because so cool shit can happen if this virus decides to fuck off or something. Yeah.
What are gigs? When was the last time you played? I mean, other than LMM, but how is metal music and gigging? Like you say that people sometimes don't react very well to.
I mean, that hasn't happened after the new record. We've only played one show, that was Kublumpy Islamabad, and that was awesome. Basically the videos that we did sort of really put our name out there, and more people sort of got to know us. So Kublumpy was cool. There were a lot of people there to see us. So let's see. We haven't really gotten to test this lineup live in front of people and with these songs and shit. So it should be interesting.
What's up with the Patreon? Is that working out?
It is. Yeah, definitely.
Interesting.
We have.
How did you even get it?
So we just decided to make one day.
Isn't there some payment stuff?
Yeah. So all you need to do is have a PayPal, and we have a friend who has a PayPal. Should we be
That's it.
Yeah, we have a dude who has a PayPal.
We have a dude
who has a PayPal, and that's about it. Yeah, so
we have a dude. Or whatever.
I mean, we almost didn't make it because it was dude, kaun dega hame paise? No one knows us.
I think you guys are the first band that I've in Pakistan that I
think it's us and Swinery who have.
Swinery has a Patreon.
Swinery has a Patreon,
No way.
and we have a Patreon.
Oh, nice.
I think no one else from the country has a Patreon.
अब होना शुरू हो गया.
Yeah,
I think
I know
so.
Karakoram is gonna make a Patreon, but I mean it works, dude. We put it out there, and there were actually people who wanted to support us.
Amazing.
We have. We've bought some gear for the next record with the Patreon money. We funded a music video with the Patreon money.
Wow.
We have some money in the bank for a change, dude, to actually be able to think, we need this. Okay, we can afford it.
I'm loving this conversation. This is the first time that we're having a conversation that it's not it's for you.
No, you just have to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
And if you know how to pitch your songs on Spotify, you can have we're 7 dudes, and $200 a month from Spotify isn't gonna feed anyone, but it's a solid.
That's solid, dude.
That is
$200
solid,
a month from Spotify?
And similar numbers with the Patreon, per month, that's like an income stream. You have like capital to sort of plan stuff.
It's at least that you can think about it, right?
Right.
You can think about like maybe if we do more, if we do something else, if we do
right. With Acrophase, a lot like of the production and like everything, a lot of people were sort of doing favors for us and helping us out. So like this time we know we have money to at least have the record produced and all the basic stuff, and not at least go in into our own pockets and go broke basically. How we did with this record. So
you can't do that forever, right?
Not at all. So this way at least we can keep the machine going.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. You guys have
Gent money. Baki Gent money.
This is new ground, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and I don't know why people...
Do you feel like that? Do you feel like you guys are forging a slightly new path in terms of trying to make your music sustainable?
I mean, no one else is doing it. Bands in Pakistan, bands who are like friends of ours, they're kind of lazy with stuff, right? And you just have to keep putting that stuff out there.
This is really just like deciding to do it. That's it.
Yeah,
it's going like, yaar, acha, ye bas
this is like it's a job and shit.
But it's not as easy as that, don't you think?
But it also is, though. Like, yes, obviously there are going to be technicalities and issues and everything along the way. But if you just like, baki sab kuch bhi to kar hi rahe hain. So
it's one of those weird things. When you just said that, it's like. How do I set up a Patreon? It's like just Google it.
Just
it's like how do I monetize my YouTube? You really just have to Google it.
Like what do I say, dude?
Yeah.
Just
like
go
how
and do it.
How do I get on Spotify? It's so difficult. Yeah, you can just Google it.
Yeah,
it's really not that difficult.
All there. You just have to want to do it.
Yeah,
basically. Dude.
What do you think is the reason that it's not?
That people don't do it?
This is something that I feel personally very interested in, but just because. Obviously, listening to all the music that comes out, I'm like, most of it is not most of it, but there's some of it that's really good, and then you're like, it's not on Spotify, or it's not here, or it's not there, and it's like all over the place, and there seems to be that lack of effort.
Yeah, to consolidate that.
It's not even laziness. It's just weird, like kind of. Bas nahi hai wahan pe.
I feel like it's partially. Some of it might be laziness, but I feel a lot of it is just lack of access, dude. Like a lot of people just don't know about these options because we're not a very internet comfy.
But don't you think like all the musicians that we're friends with, they should be savvy by now at least, right?
Ideally, but
like I feel some of the bands in our scene have way bigger. Followings than ours, right? And like I can't even imagine if they sort of put in half the effort into like their music is beyond sick, but it's just like acha video ban gaya now what?
Is it insecurity? Do you think is there part of it?
Insecurity hoti to wo na hi kar rahe hote hain, wo kar rahe hain, and they're sick and they know that they're sick. But like bas kar do. Like Janubi kitne fans. If Janubi made a Patreon and gave them like an unreleased song a week, I'm sure he has like hundreds of songs. He'd make bank.
Be nuts. Yeah.
He'd be making bank. I'm telling you, dude.
No, but it's like the thing. You can release a song on SoundCloud,
right?
But putting it on Spotify, like then I have to become an artist. Then I have to officially be on Spotify, and you know what I mean? Like it feels different.
Acha?
Really?
I would feel that. It would be like, what's the equivalent? Like, I don't know. But like SoundCloud is free for you since you just upload it and you're just like, yeah, there's my song. But Spotify means I have to put myself in as an artist and I have to like officially register.
Commitment issues?
But it's got, commitment issues maybe. Like insecurity in the sense that you don't want to really try that hard. Otherwise, then you're...
But it's you don't have to do anything.
Hard work... per se is sort of done by the time you're done with your thing that you were making.
Ye to bas technicalities hote how it's basically when you put out a song, it's like a post. Think of it as a post and you just have to post it right, basically. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's so like I don't know. I don't get it. It I feel like it is laziness.
But, like,
yaar, ye mera kaam nahi hai. This is
I'm an artist.
Yeah, and this is like not the sexy stuff, right?
Yeah.
But once you do it, you like, I mean, the reward is
sexy.
Yeah, that is sexy, dude. Yeah, for sure. But हाँ तू कुछ कहने लगा था.
कहने लगा था कुछ. I was about to say कि in everybody's defense though, like ये अभी बहुत एक, this is a very recent development though. Nobody had thought of this, and like so somebody had to think of it.
Yeah,
that's about it, I guess. And everybody's going to now follow suit. Hopefully.
But like Kickstarter इतनी देर से था और भी like this form has sort of been around.
Yeah, it has
for a while.
Yeah.
और चलो अगर dude Patreon को छोड़ दो, अगर Patreon भी side पे, like what about putting out regular content, putting yourself out there, creating some sort of community with your fans or whatever? That stuff is important, and once you're at a certain level, you can hire people to do it. But ज़रूरी है at this time to sort of.
वो भी एक थोड़ी सी recent है ये भी.
You think so?
Yeah, I think because the idea of a musician or music that I've grown up with is very much like dad scene, like
right.
Labels are gonna do it, and you just have to just bum around until you squeeze out a song, and then you're like great.
But Pakistan mein, I'm talking about like people here like 10 साल से जो bands कर रहे हैं, like.
But that's the fantasy though, कि somebody please.
But ये मुझे पहले दिन पे पता था कि ये इस तरह नहीं होता.
I guess.
How do people not get that? कि like वो
one day, dude.
नहीं होता. Like it's just like I don't know. I'm just मैं trigger हो जाता हूँ इन बातों से because I can't take lazy people. Yeah.
So we just talked about Patreon. That sounds very encouraging, and
right.
I'm happy for you guys that you.
It's exciting. It fluctuates sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like some people sometimes unsubscribe and the number goes down, and you're just like, but then it goes back up and it's pretty awesome again. So it's cool. Yeah.
Just generally, I mean, I know we touched upon this before, but does it make you devalue your? Do you feel like inside maybe there's a part of you that's like, is this devaluing the art if we have to treat it like a commodity in the sense that you're giving it to paying subscribers? I know it's always been like that. Yeah. But this
is like a straight up transaction, right? Like,
yes, it's a transaction.
Man, I honestly don't care. Like I play in a metal band in Pakistan, and we're like making
I'm ready to commoditize the fuck out of this.
I don't care. Like, not at all. Like this is awesome.
It's been that since forever. Like just like being all like romanticizing it so much. It worked pehle, but like this is a different era. This isn't like.
And I mean, just the way, like just the fact that we actually as a band have capital to invest in good gear or invest in our product for the first time, rather than usse ye kara lo aur usse ye borrow kar lo or whatever. Like this time we can do it properly and we don't have to go broke, and it's awesome. So we have no qualms right now.
Is there a case of like for your Patreon subscribers you'd be like, okay, well हर हफ्ते हमने उनके लिए थोड़ा सा exclusive content बनाना है, and then after that, but the album is a sacred thing, maybe. Is that how you divide it up in your head?
So it's interesting. Like the whole thing behind the Patreon is that we are giving you window into how we're writing the next record. So it's all about the record. Everything about the Patreon, other than like some cool covers that we might do or whatever.
Because like the Patreon isn't really asking us to do anything different. Like it's not like like client ke liye jingle nahi like it's still like it's still supposed to be like an inclusive thing or like a thing where it's like, okay dude, just have a look at our process. And
at least that's how we've set it up.
I like talking about the Patreon as if it's some kind of big thing that it is a big thing behind you. Like the Patreon is
Patreon is sick, dude.
Yeah.
But no, not at all. I mean, it's just a cool way to sort of also hype the record, because all these people who are like really like crazy fans of the band, they'll go and tell their friends about this new album that we're making that they've heard parts of, and it just sort of hypes the whole thing up, and sort of like the people who aren't in the on the page or whatever, they're sort of
Idiots.
like, yeah, idiots. Don't know what's going on, missing out on all the gent.
Loser. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tell us about the new album then.
Ali.
Huh?
Yeah.
8 songs on the new one. And
8 songs on Acrophase, the one we're putting out.
30 songs on the...
I mean, we've written 30 songs for the new record.
Like,
They'll get...
we're gonna shape and make it nice.
Yeah, but
And,
tell them what it sounds like.
Oh, it sounds different.
Sorry.
It sounds
It's super poppy. Like,
it's super.
You guys say this and I...
Like I wouldn't go as far as to call it poppy. It's
For
a
us.
lot more to the point and a lot more like straightforward. Just fuck you, yeah. It's sort of
fuck
that.
you,
It's
here's
not
some
like a
puke on your face, bro.
Ajo. Let's listen to the song for
What the
6
hell is going
minutes.
on? You guys just said it was pop. And then you're like, puke on your face.
I mean, it's
sure
also the heaviest.
You guys have definitely never heard pop music.
Dude, I listen to Abdullah Siddiqui and Manu and all these peeps, man. Come on. Like
It's like pop in the sense that it's like it's supposed to have like bangers. It's supposed to have
Yeah.
like just
Like
like
this
it's
re-
not supposed to make you introspective and just sit for like 7 minutes and be like, yeah, I'm feeling feelings.
Yeah.
But like
this record, like Acrophase was like a little like dad feely and dad and like really long songs and shit. But like pop in the sense that, you know, here put your idea across in 3.5-4 minutes. Should be a banger. It should
Yeah.
have hooks. It should be memorable. And yeah, that was the aim this time, because now that I listen back to Acrophase, it's like, oh fuck, dude, this song is really fucking long. Especially when we were doing music videos, it was just like, dude, nahi yaar, abhi 3 aur minute hai is gaane ke. You know.
That is the worst thing about music videos, by the way.
It
When you realize you have to
sucks.
film 4 minutes, you're
Right.
like, oh my god.
Yeah, and we're like head banging and shit.
energy
Yeah.
more. And it's like, no.
How do you do your voice? Do you actually just lip sync or do you actually sing along?
For the videos, parts of it I sing along, parts of it like I don't, if I'm not feeling like hurting myself that day.
But Ali's like, I'll say this, like Ali's really like stepped into the metal god shoes. Like he's like a metal god, dude.
You
like
looked awesome on the music video.
Yeah, dude.
You all looked awesome.
Thanks,
Man, but like Ali Suhail.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the sauce.
Yeah. There's like veins popping.
Yeah,
Just-
proper aggro shit. From Bate to fault line. वैसे तुझे कभी like why dude why did you do this?
I don't know, bro. तू बस
Range.
एक दिन मेरे घर आके रहने लग गया.
तूने ही बुलाया था.
Shit, huh?
Yeah. Like I got like I knew of Ali Suhail, and in 2016
I guess, huh?
I was watching a movie with my girlfriend and now wife. And
Congratulations.
Thanks. But like it was call आती and it's like, हाँ यार मैं Ali Suhail बात कर रहा हूँ. Can you come to Karachi? You know, tomorrow एक session gig है and we need a guitar player and it's a paid thing, so we're gonna send you a ticket. I was like, oh, अच्छा, oh, okay, where am I staying? हाँ मेरे घर रह लेना, ठीक है. And just next morning I'm in Karachi at his house, and yeah.
काफी
तब
fun
से
था.
we started writing
Yeah.
from that point on,
हाँ,
I think.
basically.
And it was a year of just throwing ideas back and forth, and we were just like, bas kar le, bro.
कर लेते हैं.
Yeah. The initial idea was that he'd write for us and we'd
Yeah.
find some really macho dude to like sing that shit. Like some really macho metal dude.
Like metal dude.
But then he did like a really good job, so we were just like, you're it, bro.
Thanks. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Temps.
So it's a pop record that feels like you're being puked on your face.
Or
Puke on your face was the exact words I heard.
It's not a pop record. Like it's like poppy for us.
Mm.
Because yeah. Can you
Huh,
explain this
like,
better, Ali?
it's just to the point. That's the best way I can.
And it's super
Okay.
heavy. Like
And
don't
it's-
get
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
heavier than this record.
pop in a way that it has like hooks and stuff and like things that you
Yeah.
can sort of
Catch on.
yeah, but
Just shorter metal songs.
Mm.
Just yeah.
yeah.
Is that more fun?
Right now it is, because like with the previous album it was all about, oh bro ye dekh maine 10 minute ka gana likha hai aur bas check kar. And this time it's just like, dude, bas ये वीडियो भी इजी बनेगी, पैसे भी कम लगेंगे, शूट भी जल्दी होगा, लोगों को याद भी रहेगा, और ये फिट है, ये बेहतर है, लाइक ये सारी BS जो हम बस इधर से लेके इधर तक काट दे, इसको फेंक दे, that sort of thing. Just trying to trim the fat and just trying to put our ideas across as concisely as, just feels smarter. Yeah, I don't know.
Nice. This is a really, really dumb question, but it's on my mind, so I'm just gonna ask it. The Riz Ahmed trailer came out. It's called like Metal something. This is the sound of metal.
Right.
About like hearing loss and metal.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
Dude, you don't like... No, but like just like about...
he's a heavy metal drummer and he loses his hearing completely. And I don't know, that's just the trailer, but I was like, that's interesting. Like,
I have really like my hearing is deteriorating.
Tinnitus and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally. The Rames I know have like really bad tinnitus as well, and they're the reason for my tinnitus. But yeah, man, I like the first 5 years of the band, like no one ever sort of thought about putting like,
it just never occurs to you until you start having it.
Yeah, like I remember Danny Khwaja came to one of our sessions and he was just like, dude, tissues dalo apne kanon ke, and he like stuffed like tissues in everyone's ears and shit. But yeah, my right ear abhi bhi baj raha.
So it's obviously a thing,
it's
right?
a thing. It's definitely a thing. Like people in my house have to call out my name like a lot.
Right.
I can't. Yeah.
So for anyone wanting to play heavy metal, protect
or
your ears.
any music.
Any music,
Protect yourself. If you're listening to loud music as like a lifestyle, like protect yourself.
Because I started getting tinnitus or whatever it's called, tinnitus, in my ears after like being to quite a few gigs.
For sure, dude.
And it's scary, man.
It is.
When you hear that, like when like silence bardasht nahi hoti after a while.
So while we were recording Acrophase, we were doing about 16-hour days in the studio, and the second we'd get out, like we wouldn't be able to sleep instantly, so we'd sit in a room with pink noise playing on a big speaker for like an hour straight.
Because you can't listen to
just nothing. Just
silence is
horrible, and there's just like we had to have that pink noise playing.
What's pink noise?
It's just like static.
Just
white noise. Certain type of static base. Yeah, basically. White noise. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. Actually.
Yeah. Are you guys being way more careful now?
Yeah, now, I mean, our drummers have an electronic kit, so we don't really have like full-on acoustic drum. Basically, it's the drums, right?
Right.
That you can't really control, and the cymbals. So now we have nice, quiet little jams. We don't even jam anymore. We
haven't jammed in a while.
In years.
You just pump out songs again and again and again.
The whole record, the last record was written on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And this record as well. He was in Karachi.
For both records, I was in Karachi.
Yeah.
So you both write them together?
No.
Zain
me and
Luke write the music part of it, and then they send me their ideas, and then I do vocally things on it and send them my ideas, and then back and forth.
So lyrically, who works on it?
I do.
What's that like? How is it different from your solo stuff?
It's
is like
like with
this dude angry, bro.
Andar se.
Yeah.
Like I guess with like solo stuff and like non-metal stuff, it's still like, okay, there's a topic that I want to unpack, and I want to sort of stay on point the whole song. Try to at least. And I want to unpack that. With this, the intention is a lot more musical than it is in terms of like trying to get like some kind of meaning across. Because the first thing is just getting like vocal, melodic ideas down and rhythmic ideas down. And then I just write placeholders initially, and then if that works, great. If it doesn't work, I'll rewrite it. But it still has to fit that pocket, though. That's sort of the intention. So it's a lot more technical than it is like my solo stuff, which is a lot more like, acha, kya, what do I feel like today? This is a lot more just shut up.
I hate you. World sucks.
Shut.
Yeah. Which do you prefer?
Like this is
What's easier? What's more natural to you?
yeah, matlab,
Your own
like
stuff,
not having to think about okay, I have to like there's a thing that I need a story to tell, a message or something. Not having to think that is very liberating, and just being like, okay, let's just start and see where I end up. And like if I can justify that with the next verse, sure. If I can contextualize that with another thing, sure. Or maybe I can fix the later thing to accommodate the next thing. But the first, like my own thing is a lot more invasive, I guess. And so this is this is physically a lot harder, but like emotionally this is like great. So I think aajkal I preferred this.
Nice.
Both cathartic in different ways, I guess.
Yeah.
And what about the music writing?
I mean,
you spent like sorry, I completely interrupted you.
No.
I asked you a question. I was like, shut up, dude.
I don't even know what I was saying. But like, yeah, you were saying.
I'm interested in this. How you spent how long at Alif?
14 days.
So explain what Alif Studios is first.
So Alif is a studio run by a very good friend of ours by the name of Umair Dar. He plays in a band called the DA Method as well. And for the longest time, he was sort of like building the studio up and simultaneously telling us that you're writing this record, you have to come record it with me. And I kept telling him, how do we afford to, get ourselves to Karachi and to take work or take off from work and all that stuff. But we somehow managed it, and with a lot of help from Umair and the Alif crew. And, we basically, what was the date? 14th April? 15th April?
Yeah.
14th April, we decided on 14th April a year in advance, and that date did not change.
Wow.
And we really stuck to it, and
you were in the studio for how long?
14 days straight.
Straight. You recorded the whole album?
Yeah, we arrived 14th morning, set up drums that day, spent 4 days doing, three and a half days doing drums, then about 3 days doing bass, then about 6 days doing guitars. And then we started vocals, and then Ali blew his voice out. So we did Altamash's vocals, and then he did his like a month later.
Yeah.
But yeah, we barely got Altamash's vocals done. And
How did you blow your voice out? Just by too much screaming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Painful?
No, not painful. Just like body betrayal. Like, I know you can do this. Why aren't you doing this sort of thing?
It's like new shit that you were like doing.
Like it's also completely uncharted sort of territory.
Right.
So
you were like practicing a lot of these new techniques that you were trying to employ into your. But dude, the Alif experience was absolutely unreal because
is 14 days a long time to record?
No, it wasn't enough.
It's a very short time.
Yeah, like
very little.
like the last data transfer like finished while the Kareem to the airport was waiting outside. Like it was so tight.
Right.
But it was also so epic because like you see all these documentaries when you're growing up about, bands going away to the studio and, shutting their cell phones or whatever and just doing the thing, right? And we got to do that in a studio, in one of the best studios in the country with like the best gear ever, and like given a free hand to sort of just, produce what you want to. So we had all the toys in the world, and yeah, it was sick, dude. And basically, 14 days is not a long time, but if you have everything planned out and you have your pre-pro solid, like we basically went to Alif with a whole version of the record already recorded.
Right.
Yeah, and we basically just went there and
like everybody knew what they had to do. And also like we were getting help from Adil, who was also editing everything while everybody was recording their next thing. So that was
two separate stations basically
simultaneously
running. So that is how we basically got it done in 14 days, where it was really, really tight. This time I would like to take more time, also because there are more songs this time. But man, Alif Experience was sick.
Yeah. Like
I don't think
documentary experience.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it like a turn your phones off and focus? No.
I mean,
the point
our
was that,
families
okay,
knew that we were not in town, right? So my mother
Yeah.
could not call me and be like, bro, ande leke aao or whatever. So like, everyone knows that these dudes are gone. They're not in town or whatever. And we didn't leave the studio.
Yeah.
Not once.
we wake up, we go to the recording area, and that's it.
Like airport se hum Alif gaye the, and then 14 days later we took another car and we went to the airport back. So it was
And is this
awesome.
just like, just so I don't know how these things work. So this is work, right? This is not creative?
No,
Or is it
this
creative?
is implement. Like this is executing.
Right,
Like
right.
I said, we had a whole version of
The
the
creative is done.
Yeah. We had like a record, like a shitty version of the record that we could have put out, but it was sounded like ass.
The
So,
creative part of it took a year.
yeah.
Right.
Like we
Before
did
it.
take like small creative decisions in the studio, but like
Sure.
very shit, ye ho gaya, very nice. But like that was not that was not being entertained.
It's
for the
not
most part.
improvisational. It's,
No,
It's very
not at
a
all.
little bit.
Like get the shit done.
Yeah. And do
Totally.
you like working that way, or if it was looser?
It's fun to just like be like, okay, you know what you have to do, just do it
Execute.
the fucking best
Yeah.
you can. Like then it's just like, okay, can I do this better?
Yeah.
Rather than, oh, maybe I can come up with a better thing. That's a forever thing.
Yeah, you could just
Yeah.
keep going and like committing to stuff
Yeah.
and just like that's important to sort of keep the machine going, I think. Yeah.
Do you have any hope for metal in Pakistan in the future?
No,
Not really.
I'm looking
Not
forward to
really.
the end of this this little discussion, because you guys start with the negative and then you end up being very, very positive, which is really nice.
No, I don't see hope for Pakistan. Hope for metal in Pakistan.
Freudian slip.
Freudian slippers I must be wearing. Sorry. I don't see hope for metal in Pakistan, but I see hope globally for this band, though. So, yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, inshallah.
Hopefully.
Inshallah. But yeah.
Maximum.
मैं कहने लगा था नहीं बट ब्रो कुछ सीन हो सकता है बट नहीं हो सकता ब्रो सीन ऑफ है
कुछ तो कहीं कुछ भी हो सकता है फिर तो.
I mean I'll say this, and this is like being a bit of a tease, but this one thing that we're doing right now
Well, yeah.
is pretty nuts.
I'd forgotten that part. वैसे हाँ.
That is pretty. That's like the
pretty
wild
fucking
card
cool,
in
huh?
the Takataks story right
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
and the metal in Pakistan story. Like
Huh.
you never know, something cool is happening.
Something cool.
Tell me.
बाद में बात करते
बाद में cameras और mics off.
ना करो यार.
Yeah, we'll tell you. But
Okay.
yeah,
Off the record.
off the record.
I'm getting
But
exclusives
it's sick.
that I can't tell you.
It's pretty fucking sick. Huh?
Nice. But otherwise,
I mean, in general, if that one thing
Works
was
out.
not happening, I'd be like, bro, zero chance.
Uh-huh.
Now that one thing is happening, chalo, thoda sa zyada chance, like 10% chance for metal in
Wait,
general.
But like, huh, it's still a very like.
Dude, also,
और कौन कर रहा है metal?
right,
is the
like
thing.
metal also is
who
a
are the other bands that you would say that are in the metal scene right now?
Dusk is like the only metal band that's sort of operating. Dusk is basically,
Is it operating?
I mean, yeah, they're putting out a release
Oh,
right
no
now.
way.
Yeah. So
Nice.
Babar Sheikh is the bass player from Chantara Orchestra.
Yes.
He has a metal that band is like basically the oldest metal band,
Yeah,
sort
it's
of.
like OG
Dusk,
metal.
OG metal, like. Other than that band, like
There have been like underground metal bands and stuff,
Couple,
but like
yeah.
abhi koi like in the predominant scene that we all know the names, like the only thing that sort of pops up is Wisdom Salad, but
Yeah.
they're not really metal.
They're not
though.
the same, right?
Yeah, it's not metal.
What is that?
it's like super progressive, like
Okay.
chill, wavy, but like they have some really heavy songs.
Yeah.
That they'll put out if they come around.
But
to
like
doing
I
a
don't
record
think
or
you can just classify a box that
But it's
sound
like-
in just one genre. I
Right.
think.
It's like, dude, like how Chon will do, like there's a band called Chon, like a super mathy, but like kind of chill band.
Mm.
But they tour with some really heavy ass bands. And it's just, the connecting part is like virtuoso musicality,
like
and
virtuoso
crazy
guitar
guitars.
music.
And, yeah. Guitar music, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like, I mean, if you were to ask us who would we want to tour with in the country, like Wisdom Salad is the only band we'd sort of fit with, you know.
Like
or
it
a
really-
Koali.
Rizwan Mazum Kwal and Takatak
Yeah.
co-headliner.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah. Honestly, with like talking about Wisdom Salad, when like I'd sort of lost hope of like just cool sounding guitar music, because it's so easy to make guitar music sound really shitty and crappy, right? And these kids like show up. It's like unreal, dude. Like those guys are absolutely untouchable, and they're just doofuses for not putting out enough music. Yeah. They're sick. They're like the best.
Can you still call them kids? It's like Daud Rame.
I think it's because of Daud.
Do you guys call yourself kids? Are you
I
new
feel
kids
like
on
a
the block?
kid.
Yeah.
Huh.
Don't anymore.
It's been 10 years.
You're like, huh? He's the oldest dude in the band also.
Oldest person in Lahore right now.
Shit, dude.
Uncle Suhail.
I wish you all the best. The Patreon stuff is, for me, is heavily inspiring.
Yeah, dude, get on that shit.
Yeah.
ASAP.
Before it gets saturated
Yeah.
and like people are like, no, I can't be bothered.
You never know,
Yeah.
man. Everyone might just start making Patreons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they should.
Yeah.
It's the smart, like it's the only thing that makes sense right now. Like it's done now, guys. Do it.
Just do it. Yeah. And
thank-
stop being lazy.
Stop being lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Basically, that's the takeaway.
Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
man.
And I'm looking forward to the album. When is it out?
So Acrophase is out this Saturday.
Do all your plugs.
Acrophase, our record is out on the 17th of October. Out everywhere.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's out.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
it'll be out by the time this probably comes out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's coming out with the last music video this coming Saturday. And that's basically the last sort of piece in this records puzzle. And now we're going to have like a clean slate to sort of think about the next one.
Very exciting.
Exciting.
And the Patreon is...
Bringing in the
No,
dollars.
patreon.com/
Patreon.
Bringing in the dollars.
them dollars, man.
We don't need your cash.
Yeah, patreon.com/Takatak. Subscribe to that shit.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Send me your money, man.
Please.
So, guys, I'm going to cut it. Thank you so much.